On the subject of dreams, I like to start with a poem which isn't my own. It was written by Thomas More in 1785, and it really got me into poetry. And it's called A Dream, and it goes like this. I dreamt this heart-consuming lay on Cupid's burning shrine. I dreamt you stole your heart away and placed it next to mine. I watched your heart begin to melt like ice before the sun, till both the glow congenial felt and mingled into one. A poem with 8 syllables and 6 syllables, alternative lines, and that's what did it for me. So that was Thomas More in 1789, and this is Ian Henery in 2013. It's called Last Night. Last night I had too much to dream. War and suffering had ceased, the world finally knew peace. Last night I had too much to dream. Politicians could tell the truth. Middle age flowed back to youth. Last night I had too much to dream. There was no more starvation or rainforest deforestation. Last night I had too much to dream. The world was different, you see. I dreamt you really loved me last night. Theme of this year's National Poetry Day, water. I grew up playing on canals. This poem's about water. Sometimes people talk about water on dreams as a river of dreams. It's called Water, the metaphysical carrier. Perfect within itself and percolating in existence, taking imposed shapes to keep the wheels turning. Carried by the flood or fading from a corpse, the water cycle moves in a curve of change. Propositions in hydraulics, in a push and pull. Aquarius the carrier, water signs of the zodiac, all constantly renewed. Waves shimmering under a moon, human 70% water in the monthly menstruation. Zodiacal tarot, the wheel of fortune, constantly turns, carrying the hapless, oblivious to change. The flow of the cycle, rain, evaporation, osmosis, powering the hungry pistons. Only the grave at the centre holds the curve's flow. Humans look to heaven in awe for signs, escape from contingency, answered prayers in vain. It's my agent again. The thin gel in cells, self is secretion. The flow reflects moods, a drunken engine driver, wondering why his soul is desolate. Past sleeping bodies, glittering with their dreams. Furnaces engulf the sky, blown apart for progress. Leaking from clouds, escaping from hills, change to stir wheels and breaking free, like a rusting harness, buried in the torrent. Humans look for signs, purposeless in the cities. Life's annexation frames, slopping through, held captive in the carcass of canals, beginning, end and bottom, yet lurk beneath the calm. Analogies for psychoanalysts, the flavour of waste, carried out of sight. Subject of Dreams, a poem from the book, Batman, Where Are You? This poem's called Hush, Little One. The world grows still, and one by one, wearied minds, tired by day, turn for retreat. As clocks wind down, a welcoming blanket wraps up the western sky, perforated by stars like tiny eyes, watching our slumber. This is no time for worry. Allow the merciful release. Cover your sleeping form, clothing you in dreams, and in the fresh morn, rise like the sun, eager to begin again. Know that infinity's thread spins, weaves and ties us all to this mortality. But though I cannot see you, separated by earthly distance and the vacuum of night, you are with me now, as always, in thought and dreams, sewn into the fabric of my person, bound in this incarnation. Memories stir within my soul, recreating your human form, held close to my breast, feeling your heartbeat and kissing your eyes. Sleep, my love, and in our dreams we shall be together this night and into eternity. The first time I ever saw this guy and heard this guy, Roy McFarlane, was at a celebration of poetry at Bookmark Bloxbridge. You listening, Roy?
I'm listening, man.
It was a Bookmark Bloxbridge held by David Calcott, celebration of World Poetry Day. And David Calcott introduced Roy as a force of nature. Do you remember? It was using him as a force of nature, and I thought, I've never heard of Roy McFarlane. And true enough, David Calcott was right. Roy is a force of nature. And the last time I heard Roy perform was at the SNM Centre in Wednesbury, where Roy came along and talked about 50 years since Martin Luther King, and how Martin Luther King had a dream. So, my dream is that people understand words like oxymorons. Do you know what an oxymoron is?
Yeah.
It's not an Aston Villa fan, is it? An oxymoron is something like an honest lawyer, a truthful politician, airline food, military intelligence and friendly fire. They're oxymorons. So thinking of Roy, thinking of Martin Luther King.
You calling me an oxymoron?
No, I'm an oxymoron. I was going to change my name by default. Gentlemen's toilets, and my name could go up in lights everywhere. So anyway, friendly fire and military intelligence. Thinking of what Roy was saying in Wednesbury. British soldiers dying in Afghanistan, bravely doing their duty, and their bit to make this a safer world for everyone, be getting in the way of another bit of America, writhing in frustration, hell-bent on getting out of a war it cannot win, and blasting everything in its path, allied or enemy. Friendly fire, cough spin doctors, generals, journalists and politicians. But there is nothing friendly about it. Ask the dead, the dying, the injured. Friendly fire is indiscriminate, aggressive, an outrage, and an oxymoron, like military intelligence. There is nothing intelligent about killing your own troops. There is nothing intelligent about war. Ask the dead, the dying, the injured. Ask the ordinary Afghans who have lost everything. Ask the weeping relatives standing at the cenotaph. Red paper poppies of remembrance, a message to politicians, pleading for an end to war and for our children to come home. Heads bowed in remembrance, hoping grey clouds will part and the sun will shine, a light into hearts, reminding us all what it means to be human.
Yeah.
And in the lead up to Remembrance Day, red paper poppies of remembrance. The silence of remembrance at the War Memorial, a place for shared thoughts beyond the concept of borders, where ranks of red paper poppies symbolise the hope for world peace. Heads are bowed in remembrance, a community praying one day future generations of men and women will not have to bury their children, and the whole world remembers what it means to be human. Standing resolute in remembrance, legions of red paper poppies recording lives, remembering names like crosses and regimental lines, those who did their duty, recording tragedy and heartache. A bugle call of remembrance, memorial to family and friends who loyally made our world a safer place to live. A call to arms, remembering the loss and their deaths on this day. Tins are shaken in remembrance, a percussive ring of charity, while coins drop like petals beneath gunmetal November skies. Rain falling as bitter tears, testament to memory and mourning. Red paper poppies of remembrance, like the blood they shed for us, the ultimate sacrifice they made, lies falling as petals in the wind, finding shelter in lapels to adore, as we remember and give refuge. Thank you.